Hey guys, welcome back to Blame It on the Draw, and today I'm going to be giving you my Nordic deck. It's a casual deck, it's not for competitive play, and it's a fun-ish deck. But to start it up, we're going to begin with Alvis of the Nordic Alfar. What this one does is when it's banished by a link Nordic card's effect, you can send one card you control and two Nordic monsters whose total stars equal 10 to the graveyard, and you special summon Nordic Aether from your extra deck. And if an Aether is destroyed while this card is in the graveyard, you can banish her and special summon another Aether, but with a different name than the one destroyed, and that effect can only be used once per duel. Now, next up we got Goldaft, the Nordic Beast. What this one does is your opponent controls a synchro, you can special summon him. So you're probably never gonna use this effect. It's a 4-star tuner, so kinda decent. Next up we got Tangrisnir of the Nordic Beast. What this one does is when he's destroyed by battle, he summons two beast tokens, which are 3 stars, and you can use them for your synchro summoning. Next up we have Tanksnor. I'm sorry, I'm butchering these pronunciations, but this one, what it does is, if a monster is destroyed, and you can special summon him to your side of the field, and if it's in defense mode and switches to attack, you get to special summon one of your Nordic beasts from your deck. Next up we have two of Mimir of the Nordic Ascendants. What this one does is special summons itself by sending a spell card to the graveyard, and he's there mostly because of the special summoning condition. Next up we have two Valkyr of the Nordic Ascendants. What this one does is, if your opponent controls a monster and you do not, when you summon her, you activate her effect and you banish two Nordic monsters that you have in your hand, and you special summon two Ainyard tokens, and those tokens each have 4 stars, and with that you make your synchro summon. Next up we have Vanadis of the Nordic Ascendant. What this one does is it's like a Acer Chameleon, because it can be used as the requirement for any of the Nordic synchros. It can substitute either Goldaft or a Mara, which is the following Nordic card that we'll be showing you, and also she can send one Nordic monster from your deck to your graveyard and gain its stars. And finally, for the monster cards, we got Mara of the Nordic Alpha. What she does is it permits you to synchro summon from your hand. Now for the spells, we got 3 Cold by the Grave, because this deck cannot afford to be blocked by hand traps or similar effects. Next up we have 2 Pot of Desires. Now this one banishes the top 10 cards of your deck and lets you draw 2. It's a 50-50 split on whether you lose the game after you activate it. Now for the one-offs, we have one of the Forbidden set. We got Chalice, which negates a monster effects. We got Dress, which protects from battle destruction and card destruction. And Lance, which protects from spell and trap effects. They also reduce the targeted monster's attack by a certain amount. We got March Towards Ragnarok, which is basically Forbidden Glance, but for the Acers, which makes them unaffected by spell and traps, but only them. Next up we have Heavy Trunade, or Hey Trunade, for when you need to get rid of your opponent's back row. Dark Hole, pretty self-explanatory. Monster Reborn, revive something, it's in the name. Twin Twister is for back row destruction. And for the traps we got 3 of Solemn Strike and 1 of Sullen Warning. You really don't care about your life points with this deck because you are going all in on your big Nordic monsters and hoping that they don't get destroyed or removed from the field. So this is just to make sure that your opponent stays away. Next up we got Gleipnir, the Fetters of Fenrir. What this one does is it lets you look up any of your Nordic monsters and add them to your hand. And finally we got the Nordic Relic Lavetnir. What this one does is when a monster is destroyed, one of your monsters is destroyed, you activate this and you destroy the opponent's monster, and your opponent cannot activate cards or effect in response to this card's activation, which is somewhat decent. Now for the extra deck we have 3 Odin, the All-Father of the Aether. What this one does is you activate his effect and he's unaffected by spell and trap effects for the rest of the turn. This is a really good combo with Dark Hole because you activate his effect, you activate Dark Hole, and you just nuke everything on the field, and he stays through that. And when he is destroyed and sent to the grave, you can banish one of your Ascendants, which would be these or these, and he gets to come back, and when he comes back that way and is special summoned by that manner, you get to draw a card. Next up we got Thor, Lord of the Aether. What this one does is once per turn you can negate all of your opponent's monster effects that are face up, and if he is destroyed you can bring him back using a Nordic Beast Tuner by banishing it. And when he does come back that way, your opponent takes 800 damage to their life points. For the final Aether, we got Loki, the Lord of the Aether. And what this one does is, during the battle phase, if your opponent activates a spell or trap effect, or trap, you can negate it. And if he is destroyed, you can banish one of your Nordic Alphars to bring him back, and when he does come back that way, you get to add a trap from your grave to your hand. So that's pretty good. Next up we got Belzes of the Diabolic Dragons. And what this one does is it cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. Other monsters you control cannot attack. And once per turn you can target one monster your opponent controls, and any battle damage your opponent takes from attacks involving this card this turn is halved. Also change that monster's attack to 0, and if you do, this card gains attack equal to their opponent's original attack. So this one's a good substitute if you don't want to go for your Aethers. And then we got Leo, the Keeper of the Sacred Tree. Now what this one does is cannot be targeted, except on the main phase 2, which is kind of weird. Just make it not be targeted, but no, it cannot be targeted until the main phase 2. And next up we got Bell of the Diabolic Dragons, which is the weaker version of this one. And what it does is, if you take any damage, this one gains that damage into attack. And also cannot be destroyed by card, effects, or battle. Scrap Dragon. You can destroy one card you control and then destroy one card your opponent controls. This one's called Coral Dragon. What it does is you can discard a card, then destroy one of your opponent's cards, and if it's sent to the grave, you get to draw a card. Now for the links, we got Pentastag, Manfrodinklus, whatever it's spelled. Lastly, for the extra deck, we got Golvig of the Nordic Ascendant. What this one does is, when it's link summoned, you can banish Nordic cards in your hand, or Nordic monsters in your hand, up to 3. And you can special summon monsters from your deck to use for synchros, and once you do this, you cannot special summon anything other than Nordic or Aether, and you cannot normal summon or set after or during the turn you use this effect. Yes, you cannot special summon Nordics or you can only special summon Nordics or Aethers, and you cannot normal summon or set this turn when you use this effect. And then what it also does is, while an Aether is pointing to the link arrow, it cannot be targeted by your opponent's card effects, and also this one cannot be targeted for attacks. It can only target the Aether or any other card, but as long as it's pointing to the Aether, it is protected. And that's it for this Nordic deck. I hope you guys liked it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, hit that like button, make that like button your bitch, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.
Do you remember how you held me then? Now you got me reaching out.